as there are layers of the atmosphere of the earth, one layer in which there are clouds, one layer in which there are radio waves. There's a layer where the air is so thin that we can't breathe, and there's the layer which we breathe in and which we live in. So each layer has its own density. Each layer has its own characteristics. So our human body, it has layers, and each layer has got its own characteristics. Now, our life fire, right? It needs to burn through all these layers for us to be healthy. For the purposes of explanation, let's say there are 3 layers. There is the physical layer, which is our body, the cells, the physical cells. There is the layer of warmth that I call the warmth, because it's what comes out of the radiation of all the things happening in us, our digestive system, the friction that our cells experience when they touch each other and they give each other messages, that all radiates out into this layer which I call the warmth layer. And then there's the layer of us that's pure feeling, the experience of a moment, the feeling of beauty, the feeling of love, the feeling of pain, of revulsion. This happens in that layer. Now, we need all these parts of us to be connected up so that we can live. Because life is all these together. And what happens when we have energy field shattering is that our life fire does not burn as one flame in all parts of us. If you've ever experienced that feeling where you're burning and you want to do something in one part of you, but there's another part of you that is just not up to it, just cannot participate in it right now. You know what I'm talking about. If you've experienced something where you want to achieve something and you have the desire for it, but you find yourself not supported by some other part of you that would rather just go to sleep. Maybe. I'm not saying sleep is a bad thing in any way at all, but for the sake of discussion. Now, I'm going to share with you 5 herbs that can help reconnect an energy field that has been shattered. I'm going to share with you 5 herbs and 1 bacteria, but which does a good job as a healer. Right. So here we go. Herb number 1. It's not a herb, but it's bamboo. Bamboo, the common bamboo vulgaris is what it's called. Now, bamboo has everything you need to make energy go from one part of the body to the other. I'm talking simple physics. Simple physics, because according to the law of conservation accepted in modern physics, the energy in a body never changes. It's always there. Anything experienced as a lack of energy is actually a problem with energy being converted from some sort of latent stored energy into a form which can be used by the body. Now, bamboo can make conversions happen. It's not going to work very immediately. It's more of rehabilitation. It's got silica for bone building and for nerve building. And it has so many things. So bamboo leaf, right? The next one is Damiana. You must have heard of it. It's spoken of as an aphrodisiac, and perhaps it is. I have not taken it in a high dose, so I'm not sure. But what I can tell you is that Damiana relaxes the central core of the body. Now, anyone that's had an energy shattering experience, the first thing that happens is that we shrink into the center of us and hold tension there. And this shows up in so many ways. So many ways. The most common one is sexual deficiency. But there are other manifestations, depression and so on. Damiana relaxes the center of the body. It can make a big difference. It can heal you from energy field shattering by just relaxing the center so that energy can flow out again. The third one is the walnut. The walnut, the one you eat, the one that looks like a human brain. Now, the walnut does something for the brain and for the rest of the body that very other few herbs can do. It reconnects the left side and the right side. Our body has this dual nature to it, the hot and the cold, the warming, the cooling, the male hormones, the female hormones, time of day, time of year, time of the month, everything. And walnut helps soothe through reconnecting up not just the physical brain, but all the other parts of us, including the energy field, that are in some state of disconnect because of shock or whatever. So walnut. The fourth one is the black willow, Salix nigra. Now, my grandfather taught me. He said, there is a breathing that is deeper than the first breathing. And if you hold your breath, you can feel your inner breathing going. That's a way of saying that there's your spirit breathing beneath your physical breathing processes. It is a breathing and a rhythm that the eyelids feel, that the nerve endings feel, that the hair feels, that the fingertips feel, that the tip of the tongue feels, that the tip of the teeth feel. We feel it, this rhythm that is beneath our breathing. Salix nigra, or the black willow, it helps the body connect to that rhythm. That repairs the energy field. That repairs the body. That repairs parts of us deep, deep, deep down inside that could have gotten hurt years ago, and no one knows it or feels it but you. Salix nigra can help with that. The fifth one is my favorite spikenard. Now, spikenard will repair energy burns. Sometimes, because of long-term energy dysfunction of the sort where you've been giving and giving and giving, but you've not been receiving as much as you give, or in a way that your spirit and your body understand, you can have energy burnout that can manifest quite literally. as energy burnt tissue, nerve endings, organs, tiredness, chronic fatigue. You know what I'm speaking about. If the second I started speaking about it, you felt it. That's spikenard. Spikenard does that. Now, spikenard also does something very special. If you have spent a long time yearning for something, you know what I mean, yearning for something. Now, it feels wrong that anyone should yearn for something for a long time and that not be fulfilled. But the way life is, it happens. It happens. And we have in creation something that is medicine for a yearning heart, for a yearning body, for a yearning spirit. And that's spikenard. Not only will spikenard soothe, but spikenard will heal the inner parts of us that need to be healed so that our energy can flow and make us receptive enough to go towards what we're yearning for. This works physically. It brings up instinct to choose food, to choose the sort of food you really want to eat, but you didn't know you wanted to eat it, but you want that taste and you didn't know it. Spikenard can bring up those processes, and spikenard can do it on a life energy level as well. So spikenard. And the last